Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Winnett.
And I'm Skeets McTavish.
And welcome one and all to our podcast. And this is the third one. So, let's hope it lives up to such quality as other third installments of such series.
Yeah, like Spider-Man 3, that'd be a great film.
Oh yeah, and X-Men 3 as well, The Last Stand, we all enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, like Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah, that was a great one. But what about Alien 3?
Yeah, Rambo 3, that's where it's at.
The Halloween one? Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That was phenomenal.
Oh, fan film. Almost as good, but not quite as good as Blade Trinity.
Oh yeah, we all enjoyed that. But the third film that really sticks out in my mind is Little Fuckers.
Yeah,
that is just...
Yeah, I like that.
It's fuck. It sounds like fuck. But it's not, it's fuck.
Yeah, and also, because it sounds like fuck, it's like little fuckers, when a kid misbehave, you call him a little fucker, and they do that to get past, like, censorship. But I tell you what be better, Big Mama's House Free, Big Mama's like father, like son, because the storyline to Dad is that, he worked for the FBI, and he'd be on a sting operation, and he need some help, so he get his son to dress like a big fat lady, and that be the film. That be the film right there.
Damn, that is comedy gold right there. Getting someone to dress as a big fat woman. How did they come up with it? But what about Austin Powers 3 Goldmember? Yeah, another great movie.
Another great film. Almost as good as Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, because this time it's a lady instead, it's a lady.
But there's always the best third movie ever. The best third movie ever made by any standard. Superman 3.
Oh, fine film.
Now, I'd like to get back to the topic, and today I'd like to talk about my dad. I'd like to tell a story about my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah, I'd like to tell the story of, basically, how my dad discovered dogging.
How you dogging? How your dad discovered dogging?
Yeah, he's only just discovered it.
Wait, you only just recently discovered dogging? How? How was that?
Well, my dad, he lives in the countryside. There's a lot he's not seen.
Right, okay.
So, and he works as a locksmith, and he's just started doing out-of-work hours, emergency hours, being called out to people who've locked themselves out of, wherever.
Yeah, okay.
And he calls me the other night. Hey up, Charlie! I'm like, yeah, Dad? Does thou know what dogging is? I'm like, what? It's like, does thou know what dogging is? I'm like, yeah, why? You do? How does thou know what dogging is? I'm like, Dad, I'm in my mid-20s. There's a lot out there, I've not led a sheltered life.
Yeah, because, the kids, they're all into dogging these days, they love that, they love it.
So, yeah, exactly. So then he was like, bloody hell, what do you know? So anyhow, I was going out to these woods at 1 a.m. the other night, and I'm thinking, 1 a.m? Woods? What the bleeding hell are people doing out there at that time? And he goes on. So when I gets there, there's all these people stood around with no clothes on. No clothes on, naked. Bullocks and tits dangling and everything. And then I looks inside this car. And there's people naked in this car. Stark as naked. Turns out they've been having sex. They're having sex and having an orgy in the cars. And they got locked in. They got locked in the cars when they're having sex.
Oh, man, that must have been a shock, I'm aware of people that do dogging, I mean, it's not personally for me, but, I'm well aware of people who do dogging, I mean, your poor dad, that must have been a shock. It must have been a shock.
Yeah, well, it was. Having sex in the car, he just kept saying. Having sex in the car and they locked themselves in. I couldn't believe it, Charlie. There's some weird people out there, I tell thee. Charlie.
Damn. That must have been strange for your poor dad,
I know, but it gets better. The story continues. He called me again last night. Hey up, Charlie. Does I know what a gimp is?
A gimp?
Ah! That's what he kept saying. Does I know what a gimp is? And I was like, yeah, why? He's like, you knows what a gimp is? Bloody hell, Charlie, there must be a lot you're not telling me. So anyway, I got called out again to these woods. There's a different set of woods. And it was at night again. And there's them doggers there again. I was like, bloody hell, more doggers? he goes on, and they were trapped in the car. And so I looked in the car, but this one weren't naked. He wasn't naked, Charlie. He was wearing a leather mask. He had his hands tied behind his back. And then he was just... I've never seen him so shocked. He kept on going. He had his hands tied behind his back and his leather mask on. Oh, so it goes to the other one and goes, what the bleeding hell are you doing to him? And apparently, Ian, there's people out there who enjoy that. There's people...
Well, you know, now I'm a liberal. I'm very liberal, you know, and even I've got to say, you know, why would you wear a leather mask and get the shit beaten out of yourself by your partner like that, you know? That ain't my idea of fun, mate. No fun for me. That ain't no fun for Skeets, no way.
Well, I don't know about that. Anyway, right. So, he keeps saying, I goes, what's he got this mask on? My dad goes on about. And they're like, he's our gimp. A gimp? What the bleeding hell do you call him a gimp for? And he was just shocked and he was like, I told you, Charlie, they're a gimp. A gimp pink car. They're just this gimp pink car. And then I finally got him out of the car. And then I had to get him out of handcuffs. Keys for handcuffs were on the same set of keys as they were for the car. And they'd lost them too. So I had to get him out of his handcuffs. And like,
I think your dad needs to change a career. I know that much.
Well, he's never come across anything as shocking as this before. I mean, he's seen his first year, but look, in pink car. He kept saying he must have repeated that sentence about 5 times. But anyway, I had to call him the other day and I asked him a question. Because do you know Lady Gaga's album, Born This Way?
Yeah, I'm aware of this.
And on the front cover, it's got her, and she's kind of like half motorbike, half human. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that. And I thought that was quite peculiar.
Yeah, and it says "Born This Way." So I'm stood there looking at it, thinking, was she born a motorbike? Was she born half motorbike? And like, did she drive out of her mother's womb?
That's, you know, the easiest way to find this out is to perhaps go back when she was born, you know. If she's like in the mid-20s, we go back 25 years and then do take newspaper clippings, you know, and see what you can find.
Well, you're right ahead of me there, because I said to Dad, is like, what have you got to ask me now, Charlie? And I'm like, do you remember a story about, you know, just over 20 years ago, of a woman being born a motorbike? He's like, that's what? I'm like, do you remember a story about a woman being born a motorbike? What do they mean, Charlie? I was like, do you know what? You know, was there anyone who's ever been born half human, half motorbike? Like, what's that going on about? Well, and then I explained, you know, Lady Gaga, her album cover, she's depicted half motorbike, and he's like, Gaga's? You mean that tart who sings about playing cards? I was like, you mean Poker Face? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I don't think it's quite about playing cards. I was like, well, what's that tart singing about? And I was like, I think she's singing about, you know, having sex with someone and, you know, putting on a face as though she's enjoying it, which she's not.
You know, faking the orgasm, Harry met Sally, you know, that thing like that.
Oh, God, I wish I'd not told him that. It's like, Charlie, that's yours generation. That's peculiar. That's wrong. That's wrong in so many ways. I was like, fair enough, Dad. And he's like, so, was she really born a motorbike, Charlie? I was like, I don't know. We're going to have to find this out.
Well, you know, that gets me thinking that surely your dad would remember that, you know. He'd remember that thing, so if he did not, it makes me think perhaps, now it's only a rumor, but, you know, people tell me it be true, that there's a new type of body modification going around Hollywood, you know, like the boom in plastic surgery. Yeah. Instead, it's called engineering surgery. It's where, you know, people basically get mechanical parts grafted onto themselves to, you know, enhance their abilities. You know, people tell me that Tom Cruise, he got a speedboat engine built into the small of his back, you know. Plenty of others like that, like Eddie Murphy. In his lips, he's got ballistic radar, you know. When he in, like, New York Harbor, he can detect a ship leaving Southampton, you know. Easy as pie.
Hold on. Why would Eddie Murphy need a radar in his lips?
Because, like, you know, everybody be on his back ever since he do, like, some bad films and that, you know. So he need to know where people are and things like that to avoid them, you know. And besides, maybe he just into maritime technology, you know. That could just be his thing, you know.
All right, I've not heard of any of this. Is there any other celebrities you know had engineering surgery?
Somebody told me that Forrest Whitaker, he's got, you know, culinary electric whisks into his hands, you know, so when he bake a cake, you know, he don't have to worry about having a whisk or anything like that. He just put his hands right in there, and, you know, when he whisk it all good, like that, you know.
Well, I can imagine that, you know. I can imagine that guy likes, you know, he likes his carrot cakes.
Mm-hmm. And not just that, you know. Sigourney Weaver, you know, after she starred in Alien and she be like in the power lifter, she got a good idea from that, and she said, I want some heavy lift hydraulics in my hair, you know, so that when she move her house, she like just flip it with her hand, that, you know, and she lift like all the furniture for her neighbors and stuff, yeah. But I mean, it's just speculation. Might not be true, you know. We don't know this and that.
It does sound believable if we're being honest, though. Sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that, there are plenty more, but we just don't know, you know. Speculation tell me that, you know, Britney Spears got an AK-47 in one eye and stuff, you know, but I don't believe that. That's ridiculous, you know. Whisks in the hand, that's fine, 'cause that's practical, you know. But Britney Spears, she don't need bullets in her eyes, you know, that sort of thing.
So if this does exist, I'm thinking what I'd have done. What if I could have a piece of, you know, engineering in my body? What would I have? I'm thinking right now I'd have some kind of like... I really hate public transport, so I'd maybe have like wheels built into my knees and some kind of like jet propellant in my feet, so I could like fly like Iron Man, but then I could get the wheels so I could get a smooth landing. I wouldn't need to get the 82 again then.
Yeah, you know what? I would have, like, hoovers built into the palms of my hands, you know, so I could pleasure a lady. Not pleasure myself, because I don't like that. That's not right. But also, you know, if I make a mess with my cornflakes, you know, I suck it on up like that, you know. Because it's practical, you know. Forrest Whitaker, he get onto the practicality right there, you know. You know, your function, he ain't pleasure, you know. That's what he's about.
Well, why's Tom Cruise got the motorboat in his bag?
Well, because people don't like him either, because he go to an obscure church, you know, so, like, he could jump in the sea and he can fly away, you know. Nobody get near him.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get down to the doctors and ask if they know anything about engineering surgery.
Let's do it. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's get there now. So, I've been Charlie Winnett.
And I'm Skeets McTavish.
And thanks for listening.
We're going back up your things. I want to get a flamethrower in my mouth.